So to start this track, I would like to invite Mohammed Khan to the stage from Kwalee, talking about the Kwalee news publishing platform and how we can learn more and get better at publishing. So please give a warm welcome.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Mohammed Waqas, and I'm here to introduce our new Kwalee publishing platform. So today I'll be talking briefly about the MVP features that we'll be introducing, but the major part that I want to discuss is how we keep on improving the platform and why we actually needed this platform in the first place. So let's start. So this is more flashy title, I know, from game dev hell to publishing heaven, but the reason that we have been working on this platform is actually this. When I was assigned this product, before that, let me introduce first myself as well. I belong to primarily tech-heavy background, so I majorly work in creating different technical products, so this is the first gaming product that I've been working on. So I'm going to introduce you why I did the discovery and how I did the discovery as well. So let's start with the question. Before starting any product, I, as a product manager, need inspiration to create this product. I mean, why are we investing resources, time, and eventually money as well? I mean, what's the need to actually create this platform? So whilst doing the product discovery, I realized that the game development, specifically mobile development, has been changing for the good and for the bad both. And the one thing that really baffled me is that it's still changing. No one still knows what's happening. I mean, people are trying different things, trying different solutions, but no one actually knows what's happening and what's going to stick. So the one term that I got really frequently is the hybrid games. I don't want to get in detail. We have a lot of sessions of what's happening with the mobile development, but this hybrid games is where you have to create a bit more, immersive gameplays. You have to keep the player in the game and bring the player back when they leave the game as well. So this is where I got the idea that if the problem statement is not still clear, if we still don't know what we need to do to make successful games, because as I said, it's still changing, creating an automated platform for all the tools, it's not practical, because if the problem statement is still not clear, and we shortlist like 10 different tools, and we create the automated layer, it just doesn't make sense. So what I wanted is to create a platform where we need to build a space for learning and make your games better. That's as simple as that. So you need to learn, you need to make your games better. If it doesn't work, you need to keep on learning. That's the entire problem statement that I figured out in making the inspiration for creating this platform. So in terms of inspiration, as I was talking about, the one thing, again, that I wanted to encourage is having normal conversations, normal communication through the platform. So Kwalee is a developer as well, so I had some interviews inside my team as well. And I realized that small developers or small studios or indie developers, they might not have the resources enough, but they don't still have enough idea to actually ask you the question. So the platform that I will discuss later on, you will find that there are very simple communication platforms where you can just raise any questions and the relevant team from Kwalee actually will answer. So moving ahead, what would your perfect game publishing experience look like? I mean, this is a very, very vague question, a very hazy area, very gray area, I know, but we still need to have some problems. Otherwise, having a solution without a problem doesn't make sense. So when I was creating the platform, the first thing that I wanted the platform to solve is that it has to be intuitive. You shouldn't need to have like a 200-page guide to use the platform. The platform should be absolutely straightforward. It has to be data-driven. So creating a hybrid game, you need to have your data plans absolutely sorted. So any decision you're making, if your progression is not data-driven, you're bound to fail. So what we are planning is, and we have introduced in the MVP as well, is very clear and streamlined data pipelines through the SDK, which you'll eventually see in the features as well. It has to be zero cost. I mean, eventually you're going to spend a lot of money on your game development. So your publishing at least should be zero cost. I know it's still a very controversial thing. I don't want to go into detail, but it has to be zero cost. It has to be fast. Very simple problems. It has to be fast. I mean, no one should beat you to market, and you're stuck in a loop of extremely complicated platform. So it has to be fast. I mean, the very simple saying in marketing is like less is more. So that's I want to follow. Key KPI data. So I'm a very firm follower of creating your decisions based on your KPI qualification measures. So your KPIs are basically your checkpoints. If your game or your feature reaches to a certain checkpoint, and if you're not fulfilling certain KPIs, you either have to change the course of action, change direction, but the platform should be able to track these KPIs very, very efficiently. Easy access to tools. So I'm quite sure that we, as one platform, cannot provide you all the solutions, but there are so many different resources that we can provide as an ecosystem. And that's where I want to build the entire pitch around. That it shouldn't be just a platform where Kwalee is saying that, oh, we know everything and we'll help you along the way. No. It has to be an ecosystem where we are open to not just force you to use what Kwalee is providing. There are so many amazing resources out there that we will plug in, and we will proudly show them that this is Kwalee's ecosystem, but it's something that we have not built. And we are very proud of that. We will use different, this conference has been very productive for me in that segment, and potentially Kwalee will be releasing a few strategic partnerships fairly soon. Game trend insights, this is a very basic thing that if you're not following the category that you're working on, what's happening in the market for that, obviously you're not doing something right. So the problems are there, the why is clear, the what is clear, and when I figured out that how much time it would take me to create the platform, it was somewhere around 3 to 5 years, which, I could pitch that, but I would be fired in like 5 minutes. So I had to create the MVP, right? I had to tell my boss as well that, there will be a platform in the next 1 year, right? But even better than 1 year, what I wanted to do is to do a very quick 6 months launch. So I joined Kwalee, it's been 6 months, and in next month, end of next month, hopefully, coming from tech, giving a date is frightening for me, so that's why I'm saying end of February. It can be the last day of February. It will be the last day of February. So I wanted to do an MVP, and in the next 4 or 5 slides, I'm going to walk you through few features, high-level features of what the platform will be doing. And I love UX, so it needs to look good. So onboarding is very seamless. It's just one click. So you can be onboarded on the platform by just connecting your Google account. And the good thing, which you'll see in 1 second, is you can white label your platform. It's your platform. Upload your studio logo, upload your themes, and just make the platform your own. It's a small thing, but for me it matters really that the platform that you should be using day to day should look like something that you're using. Once you're onboarded, if you have a small studio of 5 people, you can invite people to your studio by just using the role-based access control feature. You can assign them specific permissions that you can only see specific sections of the platform. You can also assign them specific games that they can see, so that if they are working on only 2 games, they don't need to see all your portfolio, right? The next thing is, obviously, this is what we're here for, games, right? So this is where they can submit their games. It's a 3-step process of submitting game. The first one is a simple form where you create you add your name, your short intro. If the apps are already on the iOS or Play Store, you can add the link. No, fine, just give us a few gameplay videos. And the second step is Kwalee SDK. Kwalee SDK is, so for the MVP, this is the light version of the SDK, which is completely automated to integrate. There's documentation available. It's going to take you 15, 20 minutes at max to install Kwalee SDK. As soon as you do that, you'll start receiving real-time dashboard analytics. In the dashboard analytics section, you'll see real-time data coming through the platform. There will be KPIs surrounding that as well. But as I said, it's not just Kwalee dictating what you should use. It's an ecosystem. So if you don't have Kwalee SDK, if you don't need Kwalee SDK, you're like, I'm already using another platform, fine. There's literally a line saying in the game submission form that if you are using any other platform, just provide us the data that you have already collected and no need to install Kwalee SDK. That's why the only thing you need to submit your game is just your game title, a few gameplay videos, and that's it. That's your game submitted. We are not forcing you to install Kwalee SDK. That's very important for me. But if you do decide to install Kwalee SDK, and as I said, it's completely automated, there's a validation mechanism. So you just click on the third step, that validate my SDK. In real time, it's going to look through your source code. It's going to see that if the SDK is properly initialized, it's going to notify you in real time that, yes, Kwalee SDK is officially being integrated, and it's working absolutely fine. So next thing is very simple, but it will be very effective. The reason for that, as a product manager, I get inspiration from very simple things. So my wife says that no problem is complex or complicated enough that cannot be solved by a simple conversation. And this is going to be the proof. Because this is very simple. If you have any problems, like you might be sitting and having a bug in line number 496 in your source code, just take a screenshot, write some details, select the relevant category, and this will, in real time, notify Kwalee's relevant team, and they're going to solve your problem. They're going to schedule a call if it's not solvable on just messages. And as simple as that, it's just a conversation, communication. If you have anything to discuss about the platform, if you need to receive feedback on your game, this specific feature is going to help you do that as well. So initially, you heard me saying we want to learn and make platform better, your games better. This is the section where you'll find the resources. So I've personally recorded videos for this section where I'll be explaining how the features work. But that's just one part. The second part is Kwalee is actually working on creating a complete tutorial system here. So you'll have a section called Kwalee Academy where you'll see interactive videos of how to do certain things. And we'll keep on updating this knowledge base every week, every month. And if you don't find something that you want to see in the knowledge base, discussion forum, as I said, is there for you. Just open the ticket and you'll have it. The next thing is just some secondary features. There are more features to the platform, but just as a secondary feature, file management. This is a very effective section where if you want to manage all your files using a simple file explorer, so we have created an interface just like Windows. As soon as you create a game, an automated folder will be generated. You can keep your files, you can keep your game design documents, your contracts, your game bills, anything and everything will be maintained here. It's provided with a restricted storage so that we are not spammed. But if you don't find this storage enough, this discussion forum is there for you to open the tickets. So creating the MVP, as challenging as it was not enough. So I was asking to myself, like, how do we keep adding relevant features? And I went to my senior again, and the time frame that it comes out was again somewhere around 2 to 3 years. But we need to create a solution, right? But we need to keep discussing the problem as well. So in order to do that, I wanted to do something out of the box, like having a hybrid roadmap. This is where, so what we are working, our team is working, is to create an interface. And every release that we'll make, it has to be quarterly. We're not going to take 1 year or 2 years to create more iterations. So it will be quarterly. Every 3 months, we are planning to release something. So this hybrid roadmap will ask like the real developers who are actually facing the problem, or small studios. They can pitch the feature, and our team is going to evaluate whether it's like technically implementable, if it's feasible for us to do. And every quarterly release that we will have, we have especially dedicated a time for anything that comes from here. If the developer's request is accepted, we will obviously acknowledge them. We're going to tell them, and they will officially be rewarded as well. So this, which as I said, I think is just my thought, because I said the problem is still not clear. We still don't know what the problem, why we are still in a clutch. There was a time where you could create a game and with very simple mechanics, and it's going to live for a week or two, it's going to earn you a quick buck, but what's happening right now? So I believe that this section is somehow can basically solve your problems. So what we are launching as the MVP is core game analytics, which is real-time with Kwalee SDK. We are announcing developer to Kwalee communication. There is a dedicated team assigned to this platform, not just your basic customer support that we have received your request. No, there's like a real team, engineering, QA, creative, and every relevant team that you can think of is sitting behind this developer Kwalee communication. Training and coaching material, we are also launching, as I said, central game management for your feedbacks, for your game submissions. And you can also, there's a button in the games management, request feedback, which will actually trigger notification to the game team, which is like mobile publishing team, and they can actually provide feedback in real time as well. Files and feedback management, portal guide of how-tos, notifications and alerts, and quality support. This is basically just the 6 months plan that I pitched my seniors, and glad that they accepted. And we are launching that in February, potentially in the last minute of the February end, hopefully. But we keep on improving that. And that's where your phase 1 will be coming, it's June 2024. Hopefully, we want to introduce some qualification scenarios to keep on tightening the KPIs again. We want to create events management, whether it's like default or custom, so that you can track data is going to be game changer if you want to solve this problem. So that's where your data-driven methodology is going to come in place. Game management from the public. So we want to keep on working on our team as well. It's not just the developers. We need to keep on improving how we can contribute in the game as well. So we keep on adding more automated features like campaign management or many more features to update that. And that chunk that I was talking about, that's the interactive backlog, focus groups, or bugs. This is where anything coming from the actual source of problem is being taken care of. Then phase 2, hopefully in October, you have, so I'm a fan of Stack Overflow. I don't know if you know or not. So Stack Overflow is just where you discuss bugs and issues. I wanted to create something like that. We can have a conversation about problems. Anyone can put a problem, and any person from the other part of the world can actually solve them. So that's the games community. We want to introduce different tests through the system as well, so creative tests, marketability tests, and interactive backlog, as we discussed. Phase 3, hopefully we want to put something, we want to start talking about finance and billing through the platform as well, which is very, very important topic. We want to do A/B tests through the system. We want to create a market watcher, something like Sensor Tower. We were having a conversation with them as well. And again, interactive backlog. As I said, launching a platform was not that difficult, to be honest. I feel the road, the direction you see of the road is very, very difficult. And that's where we want to create an ecosystem. We just don't want Kwalee to be a standalone provider of solutions, because we cannot solve every problem. And we understand that, but Kwalee is also developers. So I've had several interviews with Kwalee developers as well, and I realized that they're going through the same problem. So that interactive backlog is something that they will be working with as well. But as I said, this platform needs to be for the developers and should be by the developers as well. So that's basically it for the presentation. Still have time, but there's one, before going to questions, I have one post-credit scene. So Kwalee is introducing like this Game Master Summit. It's like a one-day digital conference. I was asked to add that as a last slide. I was forced to do that. So it's going to be hosted on the 21st of February. It's a one-day digital conference. We're having discussion from every market person that we could find. We are screaming everyone to join. They're there. There are many panel discussions. There are different speakers from industry talking about different burning questions. All of that is going to cost you just, it's free of cost. There's no fee to join, to be honest. It's just a one-day digital conference. And back to the questions. I still have 1.5 minutes.
Questions?
I'm sorry if this is a stupid question, but how will players actually access the game? Will it be through like the iOS store and Google, or will it be through an app that Kwalee has?
Sorry, can you clarify, how do you access games?
As in, like, with Kwalee being the publisher,
Yeah.
will the games still be on iOS and
Yes.
Google Play Store? Okay.
Yes.
So what's in it for you? Like, are you going to take a revenue share? Or?
The idea is that we want them to join the platform. We want them to use the resources. We want them to use the ecosystem. And if they think that they want to pitch this game to Kwalee, there's another section where they can just pitch their game to us. We'll evaluate the game. And eventually, if it qualifies the KPIs that we are looking for, we're going to sign it. But if it doesn't become better, they still keep on learning through the platform. So until they are ready to be joining a publisher, they can keep on using the portal. We'll keep on adding learning resources so they can become better. So that's the idea.
Nice.